Today, we'll explore the most momentous astronomical event of our lives, an occurrence currently happening high above us. Our focus will be on the interstellar object named 3 Atlas. This visitor, which has defied all the norms of cometary physics, is just days away from its closest flyby of Earth, potentially disclosing secrets that could alter our comprehension of the universe permanently. To stay informed about this evolving story, remember to subscribe and click the like button. You won't want to miss what's coming next. It is December 2025, and the world collectively holds its breath as we count the days to December 19th, the date when 3 Atlas will come closest to our planet. But this isn't merely a typical rock passing by in the night. The data streaming in from observatories globally is not just enigmatic, it's truly shocking. We're moving beyond mere chance and stepping into the realm of the extraordinary. Let's begin with breaking news from Japan. The Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, has published data from their XRISM Observatory, a state-of-the-art X-ray imaging and spectroscopy mission. They aimed their equipment at 3 Atlas, assuming it might be a cold, inert rock. Instead, they discovered a shimmering glow, an ethereal X-ray luminescence spreading over 400,000 kilometers from the object. For context, this distance surpasses that between the Earth and the Moon, meaning this object is immersed in a high-energy emission halo. Standard scientific understanding provides that this is due to the solar wind interacting with a gas cloud, termed charge exchange. However, here's the kicker. We've never before observed X-ray emissions like this from an interstellar object. Not once. This is unprecedented. Upon analyzing the spectrum, the specific wavelengths of that X-ray light reveal abnormal emissions of carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Why does a comet emit X-rays? What causes a halo that intriguingly resembles a high-energy plasma sheaf? If one were to construct a shield or propulsion system based on high-energy physics, could it potentially exhibit similar characteristics detectable by our basic sensors? The signals we are observing challenge the conventional dirty snowball paradigm. This is the first anomaly among the substantial new evidence we've gathered. And it gets even stranger when we discuss the object's anti-tail. While comets typically have tails directed away from the sun propelled by solar wind, 3 Atlas shows this. It also boasts a jet angled towards the sun, a sunward jet. This feature was visible even before it approached the sun and continues to be present as it moves away. The anti-tail has endured. Physics asserts that tiny dust particles should be blown away from the sun. They shouldn't remain nestled against our star's pressure. Yet here we are, with this feature unwavering, its stable and collimated trajectory resembling a focused beam rather than a diffuse cloud. It points in a direction that contradicts expectations for a passive object. Unless, of course, it functions not as a tail, but as a thruster, a retro rocket adjusting its path. Consider this. If you're a dormant rock, you simply drift and tumble. Alternatively, if you are a functioning spacecraft, you achieve stabilization and direct your engines purposefully. The data indicates that 3 Atlas's jets are not blurred by rotation, suggesting a steady orientation. But locked onto what? The sun, perhaps? Or maybe Earth itself? Delving into the chemistry, we have scrutinized the light emitted from this body, and its composition appears incorrect. A significantly high nickel content raises eyebrows. Unlike any naturally occurring comet, it resembles an industrial alloy more than a space rock. The ratio of nickel to iron is unprecedented for comets, as is the nickel to cyanide ratio. Nature rarely conceives stainless steel in the vast expanse of space, but we do. If we were to create hulls to endure countless years of erosion within the interstellar medium, we would select materials designed to withstand rapid particle impacts. Could this represent the spectral signature of domestically manufactured hulls? Now, let's trace where it originated, a potentially alarming detail. In analyzing the trajectory of 3 Atlas back into the deep spaces of the universe, it didn't simply arrive randomly. It descended from the exact region of the sky where decades ago the WOW signal was detected. The WOW signal, recognized as a strong narrowband radio burst identified in 1977, was the most substantial candidate for extraterrestrial communication. This singular event never recurred, but nearly 50 years later, an object arrived from the identical coordinates. Statistically, the probability of this being mere coincidence stands at just 0.6%. Is 3 Atlas a response? Or was the WOW signal a foreboding announcement? Reflect on its trajectory. moving opposite to the planets in a retrograde orbit but aligning within 5 degrees of our solar system's flat plane. Most interstellar bodies arrive at random angles from the outer reaches of the sky. However, here we are, observing it poised precisely along the orbital plane where our planets orbit while it's pushing against the natural flow. This leads to a survivable chance calculated at 0.2%. It's almost as though it seeks a clear sight of us, as it glided past Mars, skimmed past Venus, and now dives toward Earth. The timing could not be more precise, alluding to a potential gravitational redirection of its path in its ongoing dance with our planets. Except, there's a pivotal date we need to keep an eye on: March 16, 2026. At that moment, Free Atlas will have its brush with Jupiter. The calculations suggest it will pass within a remarkably precise distance of 53.6 million kilometers. This measurement may seem inconsequential, but to astrophysicists, it's electrifying. Jupiter's Hill radius, which designates the outer boundary of its gravitational influence, sits at 53.5 million kilometers. It's threading the proverbial needle by skimming precisely at the limit of Jupiter's gravitational range. This area is essential, a hotspot where orbital adjustments require minimal energy. This region offers an excellent opportunity to deploy satellites or slingshot to a new destination. Could Free Atlas be a mothership or vehicle carrier? Its enormous nucleus intimates immense size, magnitudes larger than Oumuamua or Borisov. It is speedily traveling and exhibits remarkable precision. We observe an acceleration unrelated to gravitational forces, signifying that it adjusts its speed in ways that gravity alone cannot elucidate. Generally, comets do this when they degas, a process similar to a balloon losing air. Yet here is Free Atlas maintaining its steady, pointed jets, indicating controlled acceleration. The scientific community appears to be at odds over this. Conventional expertise tries to force this complex case into a simplistic model, referring to it as a dirty snowball characterized by unusual features. They're disregarding the industrial metals, navigational accuracy, and astonishing X-ray shields. Nonetheless, questions continue to arise. Why avoid considering the apparent? If it appears as a machine, operates like a machine, and consists of metals crafted for creating machines, perhaps we should reconsider defining it merely as a rock. As we approach December 19th, Free Atlas will come closest to Earth, coinciding with a new moon, a time when skies will be dark, ideal for observations. Telescopes worldwide, ranging from modest amateur setups to colossal observatories, will fix their lenses on this point of light. We are poised to capture the most refined images ever obtained. What might we witness? A cratered icy surface? Or intricate structures and geometry? Utilize your imagination, because the X-ray information dispatch from JAXA is merely the first step. As we get closer, a deluge of data will follow. If this object turns out to exhibit the anomalies we suspect, an intriguing holiday season awaits us. We find ourselves on the shore watching a vessel on the horizon, debating whether it's a whale or a loch. Yet that vessel approaches steadily, and soon enough, the need for debate will vanish. We will know, as we ponder, while genuine discoveries are sailing past us, another type of mystery transpires here on Earth, within the thoughts of our leading scientists. This week alone saw the release of 2 significant scientific papers in Nature pertaining to extensive experiments, microbon and cataphary. The endeavor has cost $90 million, searching for nothing less than a ghost: the elusive sterile neutrinos, hypothetical particles that supposedly do not interact with matter and were proposed to clarify inconsistencies reflected in previous data. Physicists observed enigmatic results, leading them to hypothesize the existence of new particles. Large machines were created to hunt for them, yet no detections materialized. The experiments failed to validate the existence of sterile neutrinos. Here's the crucial part. Did anyone mock them? Did anyone dismiss their exploration as absurd? Did any voice their doubts regarding their pursuit? Absolutely not. The scientific community celebrated their dedication, proclaiming, "Well done, you've effectively tested a hypothesis. Nothing gained, but now we know." Engaging with a ghost particle because of prior anomalies has been lauded as commendable, solid science. Yet, turn the spotlight onto Free Atlas, entering our solar system with not just 1 or 2, but 13 distinct anomalies. It behaves unusually, shines in odd patterns, It is composed of material we don't expect. And when a Harvard professor posits that perhaps it could be a probe, suddenly the establishment goes into a frenzy. They label it absurd on stilts, decline to publish relevant papers, and ridicule the notion outright. The question prefers, why is it noble to allocate $90 million on a search for a non-existent particle, while it's unscientific to analyze an object in our backyard to inquire if it was crafted by intelligent design? We can define this as the arrogance that accompanies expertise. Envision yourself as an expert in rocks. A lifetime spent scrutinizing minerals. Show up with a smartphone, and without having seen technology before, you might deem it an astonishingly shiny, exceptionally flat, yet peculiarly strange rock. You'd unravel convoluted geological theories explaining how it lights up at a mere touch. This isn't just a whimsical metaphor, it's an observable trend. Consider the Tesla Roadster Elon Musk blasted into space, only to have astronomers later categorize it as an asteroid, until they deduced it mirrored the trajectory of that very car. They shifted it out of the asteroid catalog to avoid misconceptions. If an extraterrestrial astronomer spotted that Tesla, its definition would likely default to rock, given the limitations in their database. Thus far, we've propelled 5 probes into interstellar terrain: Voyager 1, Voyager 2, Pioneer 10, Pioneer 11, and New Horizons. Being a young civilization, we have already been engaging in sending both refuse and treasures across the interstellar sea. With billions of stars predating the Sun, if only a minority hosts civilizations, the galaxy should echo with their debris, probes, and possibly even Tesla Roadsters. To assume that each object entering our solar system must be a mere rock embodies a failure in scientific prudence. It reveals statistical blindness while overlooking the truth. We are not the sole minds navigating the cosmos, and consider the ramifications. Missing a sterile neutrino may result in a small oversight regarding physics. However, overlooking a probe from civilizational parallels could yield catastrophic outcomes or cause us to dismiss possibly humanity's greatest opportunity. The pursuit of extraterrestrial technology extends beyond curiosity. It's imbued with a necessity for risk management. If Free Atlas is indeed a vessel, we need insights on its intentions, whether it be friendly, indifferent, or even hostile. Dismissing possibilities doesn't negate them, it simply blinds us. Thus, as we await December 19th, keep this in mind. The data speak for itself. The X-rays are authentic, the orbit exists, and the anomalies are undeniably present. Denial to accept them for their potential interpretations merely reflects human nature, an aspect that might keep us from expressing a simple, joyful hallel. If you thought the X-rays were exceptional, prepare yourself for discussions of the orbital resonance. As we continue tracking its approach, we must examine the evidence indicating this flyby could be the commencement of something far more significant. We need to review the 13 anomalies Professor Avi Loeb, alongside his team, has characterized with distinction, revealing what sets Free Atlas apart. Not simply unusual, but indeed unique. Let's not overlook the most puzzling aspects. First, the rotation. Measurements of this object's light curves reveal it is indeed spinning, completing a rotation every 16.16 hours. While spinning objects occur frequently, here's the intrigue. Free Atlas is emitting jets of material. Generally, when a comet spins and discharges gas, the jets will radiate outward like sprouting streams, stretching widely. Instead, the jets from Free Atlas appear narrow and concentrated, maintaining their directional precision relative to the Sun despite the spinning motion. How does one manage that? It's plausible only if the jets symbolize a duo of thrusters functioning synchronously alongside its rotation, or if the object is resiliently stabilizing itself against that spin. This is not a geological issue. It embodies engineering, a profound insight about its function. Next, the black swan event. While focus remains on Earth, Free Atlas's trajectory aims for a different purpose, namely Jupiter. It is scheduled to encounter Jupiter on March 16, 2026, while the particulars concerning the closest proximity resemble frightening lucidity. The predicted distance approaches 53.6 million kilometers. Why does this figure matter? Because it hinges on a critical boundary outlining when Jupiter's gravitational grasp overreaches that of the Sun, which rests snugly at 53.5 million kilometers. It brushes against that captured territory, challenging conventional mechanics, welcomed in efficiency analysis. Should one wish to park an entity or deploy a flotilla of probes into Jupiter's orbit with little energy expenditure, this proximity serves as the ideal choice. Is 3 Atlas a mothership? A seeder? Speaking of the mothership hypothesis, this implies an extensive interstellar body capable of dispatching smaller scouts, akin to dandelion seeds, aimed for scouting a stellar system. Jupiter's moons present ideal opportunities. Water accessibility and a colossal magnetic field make this area an enticing energy depot and a sanctuary. Should 3 Atlas release a multitude of probes at this seamless opportunity in March 2026, we might not detect them until it is indubitably too late, characteristics rendering them slight, concealed, and remarkably swift. And consider, again, the WOW signal connection. We previously broached the subject. Let's explore the numerical coincidences. The approach direction aligns within 9 degrees of the WOW signal coordinates, with an estimated likelihood of less than 1%. The centers of focus are less than 1%. Just as the particular composition of nickel yields a near-zero chance of mere happenstance. Within the realm of scientific inquiry, embracing the idea of one coincidence is permissible, perhaps even 2. However, 13 distinct anomalies collectively nudging towards similar interpretations is far beyond coincidence. It establishes an identifiable trend. We stand before a sequential flow of occurrences. Initially, it emerged from recognized signaling sources, its swiftly executed braking actions near the Sun, manifesting the anti-tail, now performing meticulous reconnaissance during its flyby around Earth, and finally heading toward a life-fit orbital insertion at Jupiter come March 2026. This very narrative resembles structured navigation for a flight. Therefore, what unfolds on December 19th? We shall remain vigilant, keeping watch while synthesizing available information. If this entity turns out to be active, a sensor detection examination could transpire, warranting course corrections or manifesting as mere shadow gliding through the night, shrouding its secrets beyond Jupiter. The cosmos is tapping at our metaphorical doorway. Are we sufficiently audacious to answer? As we reflect upon the layers, the X-ray data, the unfathomable trajectory, the synthetic material, and the orchestrated jets, what we discern speaks volumes about the established scientific community that seems brought to a standstill by dogma, unwilling or unprepared to confront the profound complexities of our universe. But we must ask the ultimate inquiry: what will occur next? Should 3 Atlas prove a mere rock, then, on December 19th, it will sail past, receding into darkness while we capture images to reminisce over the moment before resuming our routine lives. However, should it unveil itself as not just a rock, but perhaps an operational artifact, then that same date transforms into much more than a calendar marking. It becomes a definitive threshold where humanity steps beyond the realms of childhood understanding. Picture this momentarily. What if our speculations hold substance? Picture ourselves receiving signals or witnessing indisputable maneuvers, or finding a pulsation within the X-ray halo, radiating in an identifiable prime pattern. Contemplate the societal ramifications. We encounter what might define as ontological shock, the abrupt recognition that the reality we've embraced is not as we envisioned. Governments might find themselves scrambling. Financial markets could face tumult. Organized religions might shatter. This reality encapsulates their cautions. It's precisely why they align in favor of visible comets, because comets are perceived as secure cosmic travelers. They don't press questions. They carry no interpretative weight upon us. Alien probes or spacecraft? Well, that's an entirely different paradigm, speaking to a broader cosmic narrative. Considering the mercenary fate, can we orchestrate any opposition? Can we dismantle it? Watch it drift without arriving at conclusions? We must meticulously observe, supporting those scientists who display the courage to probe further into drone-like inquiries matters tremendously. The Galileo project, spearheaded by Avi Loeb, is establishing novel observatories dedicated solely to scrutinizing such incidents proactively, without awaiting bureaucratic permission. The mission reinforces society's duty to demand transparency. All data harvested from Webb, Hubble, JAXA, and beyond belongs to humanity at large. It should remain liberated from confinement entrenched in administrative shadowing. Should 3 Atlas deploy probes into the Jupiter system in March 2026, our awareness surrounding observational capabilities must remain intact. We find ourselves engulfed in a cycle of enlightenment. The prior guardians labor to sequester the aperture shut, yet the light seeps through each fracture. The anomalies proliferate. The fortuitous coincidences become increasingly frequent. Standing on the cusp of its closest approach, allow belief in the expansive, seizing universe to resonate. To assume we're the first to traverse the cosmic frontier, such conceit is unfounded. Free Atlas isn't merely an object, it's an essential message. Whether cast in a bottle or a beacon pulsing from a lookout, the essence remains: wake up, observe year, to ensure we grasp what lies ahead. Thank you for embarking on this expedition. This channel will deliver live coverage of the flyby, analyzing every shred of data streamed our way. For those yet to subscribe, now's the time, for you won't want to find yourself isolated when the inevitable news arrives. Wishing good fortune to us all.